Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video. My name is Benjamin Marone. I'm the founder of Zaboda. In this video, we're going to be going over how to create a magnetic job description. If you think you can just throw some stuff on ChatGPT and create a generic job description and attract A players, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. We need to create a compelling job description that will attract the type of talent we want. And in this guide, this is what we go over. Like I previously mentioned, you can't just play around with AI and get the best result. You need to critically think and reverse engineer what is actually attractive to these ideal candidates of mine. Using lots of buzzwords, using generic templated AI job descriptions is not going to attract true level talent. They're going to look and see, oh, wow, this person really didn't spend that much time on the job description. They just threw some stuff into ChatGPT and they're not really serious about this role. Interview and hiring and this whole process of recruitment is a two-way street. True A players are vetting your company just as much as you are vetting them. So it's less about what they can do for you and more about what you can do in providing an opportunity for them to reach their personal and professional goals. One of the ways we have transparency and we make sure that we attract the right types of individuals is by putting the salary, the compensation, the benefits inside of the job description. Some people are against this. What I have found is it saves a lot of time and it also helps you salary check and temperature check the salaries in a given location. So if you're new to hiring overseas or new to a certain hiring location, sometimes it can be difficult to get salary data, right? You need to throw up a job description, you need to throw up something with transparent salary so you can see if you're getting a lot of applicants or if you're getting none at all. If you're curious about salary ranges for different locations, we do have a guide on that will be linked here on this slide for the guide so you can learn a little bit more about how to temperature check salaries. But let's continue in the video and start by understanding our target audience and ideal candidate. So at different levels of people's different careers, there are certain motivations. Someone with 10 plus years of experience in software development is going to have different wants and desires and needs versus someone who is a junior dev, just 1 to 2 years in with their software engineering or development experience. So one of the ways that we can figure out how to make our job description attractive is analyze roles that are above the one that we are asking for. So if we're trying to hire a middle developer, 4 to 5 years of experience, right? Let's go find some senior developers or people who run development teams and look at their job and career and growth progression. It will give us an insight into what decisions they made as a middle level developer to get them to where they are today. It will give us a better insight on the career progression and career path. We basically reverse engineer from this senior development role back to what we're trying to hire for. So we need to look at, okay, what is this person's current job? What are they currently doing? What could their desires be? What do they see their peers advancing in? How do we make a creative job description and a creative job opportunity that will allow them to capitalize on their dreams, their desires, and ultimately help us as business owners as they join our company? This is one of the best ways to figure this out is that reverse engineer. That's something that we do here at Zaboda, where there's a lot of careful planning that goes into job descriptions before we just throw them up in different applicant places. Something that I have noticed that is a massive mistake is people not outlining their culture and their values before hiring, right? And this may sound kind of silly and overplayed when I just throw out the words culture and values, but true A players are looking for a place where they can succeed. They're looking for culture fit. They're looking to actually enjoy their career. If they're going to be spending 80% of their life working with you, they want to actually enjoy and know that their culture fit will be correct. Sure that you have these characteristics and values outlined before you go to create this job description and before you start the hiring process. Also, make sure that you have these specific demands of the role outlined as well. Too many times I have people come to us where they want to hire, let's say, for example, a sales development representative, an SDR, right? Typically, these hires are done by business owners who are struggling with lead flow. Maybe they're struggling to actually grow their business, and they think the solution is hiring someone to save their business, right? But they haven't thought through what are these daily actions? What's required of this person? What are the KPIs that need to be hit? Before you hire someone, you need to make sure that you've thought this through. You have KPIs planned out, you have a growth path, you have these types of basic necessities in place. Because if you don't, you're not going to attract the right type of talent. And any talent that you do attract won't actually be successful because you set them up to fail by not identifying what success looks like. So, this is something that has to be solidified before we attempt to hire. We turn away a lot of business owners who come to us who need to be quote unquote saved by some sort of sales development representative because they can't actually outline KPIs. We've worked through with them and they don't actually have a understanding of what needs to be done in order to make their business successful. So this is something that needs to be ironed out before you actually create this job description. The next section is crafting an attention-grabbing job title. We want to be very specific and descriptive in this job title. There's a difference between a marketing manager and a marketing specialist. A marketing manager may be responsible for overseeing the overall strategy and team, while the marketing specialist is typically more junior and focuses on it executing a specific marketing campaign or day-to-day tactics. If you need help kind of figuring out, okay, what job description should I choose? Look for similar roles on LinkedIn at similar companies to yours, or utilize ChatGPT to assist in figuring out the specifics of the job title. It's very important that we get this right because sometimes we have to split test different job titles to see what we get back from the market. Number two, and I've already kind of mentioned this, is reflecting the company culture, right? This isn't something that's just a thing that you can disregard. Having the right culture is important because it will attract more people who are like your company and can fit into your company and actually thrive at your company. A team player. Instead of using that buzzword, use something like team oriented or open and warm communicator. Someone who is a type A personality, someone who's a hard charger, maybe someone in a sales department or a typical kind of salesperson is not going to be as attracted to your role if it uses a word like open and warm communicator, right? So you need to be able to convey your culture in a creative way so you attract the right types of culture fits. Next, you need to highlight the impact. So true A players want to know how they're impacting the organization they work for or how they're impacting the organization's clients or end users. So you don't want to just list out a series of tasks. You want to list out how that actually impacts the business and how it will improve the business. People who are top of the line talent want to create an impact. They want to know that their daily actions actually have an impact on the organization. So this is something that you must do is explain how they actually impact the organization through doing these tasks or doing the work. This is quite obvious, but sometimes people miss this and it causes them a lot of wasted time, not only for them, but also potential candidates. Please clearly outline the must-have qualifications. If you need someone to be a wizard with Salesforce, a complicated software that they can't just learn in 2 hours of Googling and in YouTube, outline that they must have that qualification of being a proficient Salesforce user. Countless times people come to us where they're like, hey, I actually needed this person to be super good with this Airtable project management tool. Well, Airtable is a pretty specific tool and it has a little bit of a learning curve. And so if you don't specify the exact qualifications, you're setting yourself up for future failure. I've already kind of mentioned this a couple times, but avoid using buzzwords. You don't want to use industry jargon in your job description. Use clear and concise language that will be understood by a multitude of candidates. Phrases like dynamic, results driven, innovative don't actually provide any value in the job description. They just sound like every other job description that was created with ChatGPT and not actually thought about. Some of these phrases can be a little bit confusing, especially if English is not your first language. You can have a very high level of English, but not understand some of these random fluff words that are thrown in there. And in certain cultures, they are very about business. They want to get straight to the point. So they won't understand why you're adding all this fluff, and it can be seen as being dishonest. Again, terms like creative guru, rock star marketer, forward thinking are super subjective. They don't actually outline what's being done inside of the job, right? So leave these words outside of the job description. Your candidates will thank you. You're going to attract much higher level candidates for this. The thing you want to do is format and optimize the job description for search engines. So use relevant keywords that are from your industry, from your specific company, from the actual job itself. Choose these keywords reflecting the job title, responsibilities, some of the skills, the qualifications. This is especially helpful if you have a specific type of software or a very, very niche job description. Also, you should take time to focus on formatting for readability. You don't want a wall of text from start to finish that someone will just look over and not even read and auto apply. You'll get a lot of low quality candidates this way. And all the top level candidates are going to be like, wow, this person can't even basically format a job description. It's going to be very frustrating communicating with them. It makes your company look cheap if you don't actually do the small things and the details well. You may be wondering, how can Zaboda help with this? So we do all of this whole process for you, in addition to locating, vetting, and interviewing the talent to ensure that you're successful and you get the right fit for your company. You can check out our success stories here. And if you're wondering where to actually find talent, we also have a guide on the top locations to hire from in 2024. If you want to speak to one of our representatives, we're more than happy to help you out and figure out if you should even hire for a position and what those next steps could look like. Please book a call on this link if you'd like to chat. Thanks so much for downloading this. Looking forward to chatting.